Hey everyone, welcome back to Rocky Watches Movies. Today we're buzzing into the world of classic TV action with the 1966 cult hit, The Green Hornet. Packed with high-speed chases, cool gadgets and the unforgettable Kato behind the wheel, this show left a lasting mark on the superhero genre. But how much do you really know about the stories behind the scenes? So rev up your engines and get ready because we're about to unmask 20 things you never knew about the Green Hornet. The show was created by George Trendle and inspired by The Adventures of Jimmy Dale by Frank Packard. In the novel, Dale is a wealthy man who secretly breaks into businesses and homes to crack safes, just for the thrill of it. He never actually stole anything, and he left a diamond-shaped grey paper seal at the scene of his escapades, and became known in the press as the Grey Seal. Co-creator Fran Stryker skillfully combined numerous elements from the Jimmy Dale novel with the tried-and-tested formula of the Lone Ranger, also incorporating the character Michael Axford from the radio show Warner Lester Manhunter to create the Green Hornet. A deliberate link was established between the Green Hornet and the Lone Ranger through the protagonist Britt Reed, the son of the Lone Ranger's nephew, who championed freedom of speech not from the back of a horse, but through a newspaper. The Green Hornet first premiered on the 31st of January 1936 on radio station WXYZ. The show remained on air for nearly 17 years, producing a remarkable total of 1,041 episodes, each lasting between 17 and 30 minutes. The final original Green Hornet radio serial was broadcast in 1953. The radio show's immense popularity led Trendle to strike a deal with Universal in 1939 to produce two film serials loosely based on the radio scripts. The 1940 serial was met with both commercial success and critical acclaim, paving the way for a sequel the following year, The Green Hornet Strikes Again. Although George Trendle's attempts to spark interest in a Green Hornet TV series in 1951 and in 1958 were unsuccessful, the triumph of ABC's mid-1960s Batman show encouraged the network to bring the classic radio and movie serial Masked Crime Fighter to the small screen. Unlike the campy tone of Batman, though, the Green Hornet was presented with a serious, straightforward approach. Here are some of the differences between the radio and TV versions. The Hornet's trusted ally within law enforcement, District Attorney Frank P. Scanlon, portrayed by Walter Brooke, was created rather than retain the police commissioner from the radio show. Since the Batman TV series already featured a police commissioner Gordon as the hero's official contact, William Dozier, executive producer of both programs, aimed to minimize comparisons between the two series. Michael Axford, originally a bodyguard turned reporter in the radio show, is here solely as a reporter for the Daily Sentinel, the newspaper owned by Britt Reed. In this version, Reed also owns a television station. There were some visual differences as well. Promotional artwork for the radio series and contemporary comic books showed the Hornet wearing a mask covering everything below the eyes, while Kato wore goggles. In the TV series, both men wore masks that covered only the upper portions of their faces. Initially, these masks had a sharp, angular design that proved problematic as they severely limited visibility. They were soon replaced with masks moulded to fit the performers' faces. Interestingly, the two Universal Saturday matinee serials featured a full-face mask with eye holes. In a technological upgrade, the Green Hornet carried a telescoping device called the Hornet Sting, which emitted ultrasonic sound waves. Additionally, he wielded a Hornet knockout gas gun to incapacitate wrongdoers. In the television series, Kato was also equipped with green sleeve darts, giving him a ranged weapon to fend off enemies both from a distance and in close combat. In the episode The Hunters and the Hunted, Kato is seen wielding a pair of black nunchucks, an item he may have regularly carried in his masked identity, though he does not use them in any other episodes. The Green Hornet and Kato also appeared in the Batman episodes titled A Piece of the Action and Batman's Satisfaction, where they were credited on screen as visiting hero Van Williams as the Green Hornet and assistant visiting hero Bruce Lee as Kato. Notably, this was the only Batman episode that did not include the customary special guest villain billing. Batman repaid the favour in the episode The Secret of the Sally Bell. The Batmobile makes a cameo appearance on a television screen, shown turning around inside the Batcave. And in Ace in the Hole, a Batman episode is seen playing on a TV, featuring Batman and Robin scaling a building. In the original test footage for the Green Hornet series, Bruce Lee was already cast in the role of Kato, showcasing his martial arts skills from the very beginning of the show's development. However, some of the other main characters differed from the final casting. Britt Reed, the Green Hornet himself, was played by Jay Murray, while Cindy Wood took on the role of Miss Case, and Richard O'Brien appeared as Mike Axford. The show featured a 1966 Chrysler Imperial Crown hardtop customized by Dean Jeffries at a cost of about $50,000. An article in TV Guide during the show's network run referred to disparaging industry comments about ABC being the two-car network, thanks to the Black Beauty and the Batmobile. 2 cars were built, and when the series concluded, both cars went on tour. Afterwards, one was sold to a studio employee and the other to a private collector. Both survive today. One resides in the Peterson Museum in LA, while the other is held in a private collection in South Carolina. Interestingly, throughout the entire series, the Hornet himself never drives Black Beauty. The only person seen behind the wheel is Kato. This contrasts with the original radio series, where the Hornet always drove the car. Kato is a Japanese name, and in the original 1936 radio show, Kato was indeed portrayed as Japanese. However, this was changed in 1939 due to world events. For a brief period, Kato was depicted as Korean before settling on Filipino for most of the 40s. By the 60s, he became more of a generic Asian character, which allowed for the casting of Chinese-American Bruce Lee. Today, most 21st century comic book versions have returned to his Japanese origins. Bruce Lee once said that he was chosen to play Kato largely because he was the only Asian actor who could pronounce Britt Reed correctly. Beyond his role as Kato, Lee made a significant behind-the-scenes impact by helping to choreograph many of the show's fight sequences, bringing his martial arts expertise to a mainstream American audience. His influence extended to mentoring his co-star Van Williams, teaching him fundamental techniques that Williams would occasionally display during the series. The Green Hornet and Kato appeared alongside Batman in a special segment on The Milton Berle Show, a variety show hosted by the man himself in 1966. In 1993, American semi-fictionalized biopic of Bruce Lee, Dragon: The Bruce Lee Story, depicts Lee, played by Jason Scott Lee, shooting the first episode, during which cast and crew were impressed by Lee's martial arts prowess. Van Williams appears as the episode's director. In the 2008 Chinese series The Legend of Bruce Lee, Bruce, played by Danny Chan, is again shown recording the first episode of The Green Hornet. In this version, Britt Reed is portrayed by an actor named Mike, who is characterized as having racist views. And let's not forget Quentin Tarantino, a devoted fan of the character and series. He has referenced the Green Hornet in multiple projects. An army of swordsmen resembling Kato appears in his film Kill Bill Volume 1, while actor Mike Moe portrays Bruce Lee on the set of the Green Hornet TV series in the period film Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. The theme song for the show was the same as that of the radio version, The Flight of the Bumblebee by Nikolai Rimsky-Korsakov, though for the television series it was significantly rearranged by Billy May, who transformed it into a big band jazz piece, affectionately nicknamed the Green Bee. The theme is perhaps best remembered for the trumpet solo performance by Al Hirt. famous for his hit song Java. Hurt employed a technique known among musicians as double tonguing to deliver the rapid-fire notes. Years later, Billy May's arrangement was featured in Tarantino's 2003 film Kill Bill Volume 1. Although the series enjoyed success in many countries, it was not a major hit in its primary market, the US. This may have been due to its similarity to its sister show, Batman, which consistently ranked higher in the ratings. After just one series, the producers decided to cancel the show and just focus on Batman, which was proving to be far more profitable, particularly through merchandising rights. When Batman ended in 1969, there was brief consideration of reviving the Green Hornet. However, by that time, Bruce Lee had chosen to focus on a film career, having received enticing offers from Hong Kong. Van Williams stated that he would not reprise his role without Lee, leading to the idea being abandoned. Although it was cancelled after just one season, Bruce Lee's popularity in Hong Kong was so great that the Green Hornet was promoted as the Kato show. Due to Bruce Lee's rise to superstardom, a movie version of the Green Hornet was released in 1974. The producers took the best from the 1966 TV show and edited them together with added fight scenes, in order to cash in on Lee's posthumous popularity. They pulled the same stunt again in 1976 with The Fury of the Dragon. The Hornet has appeared in numerous comic book series beginning in 1940 and continuing to the present day. During the golden age of comics, the Green Hornet starred in a long-running series, Green Hornet Comics, which produced 43 mostly quarterly issues over roughly 8 years. The character then made occasional comic book appearances over the following decades, until Now Comics acquired the publishing rights in the late 1980s. They developed an extensive line of Green Hornet titles, transforming the franchise into a multi-generational saga. However, when Now Comics ran into financial difficulties, the Hornet once again became dormant in comic form. In 2009, Dynamite Entertainment acquired the rights and has since consistently published numerous titles featuring the character. In 2011, Seth Rogen and Jay Chow starred in a new adaptation. The movie was co-written by Evan Goldberg and Seth Rogen, who has gone on to say that making the movie was a nightmare. Critics and audiences alike weren't very favourable, but with the film reportedly having a budget of over $100 million and taking in nearly $230 million at the box office, it was a financial success. In 2016, Chernin Entertainment and Paramount Pictures acquired the film rights to the franchise. Gavin O'Connor, known for The Warrior and The Accountant, was announced as director and producer for a reboot, with Sean O'Keefe set to write the script. However, the project ultimately did not progress. In 2020, Amasia Entertainment took over the film rights. The reboot is now slated for production at Universal Studios, with Lee Wannell and David Coep penning the screenplay. But who knows if we will ever get to see it. And there you have it, folks. You now know a little bit more about the Green Hornet. If you enjoyed the video, which I presume you did as you got this far, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any future videos coming to Rocky Watches Movies. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.